KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Del Walmsley here. The first thing you're going to have to learn is that until you stop expecting our politicians or anyone else to change your life isn't going to change. The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, the Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins. Right here on KCAA, now broadcasting on 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
A delicious edition of the Let's Dine Out Show. Food critic Allan Borgen here.
And Izzy Bussy.
And you're listening to Let's Dine Out Show. And, boy, last night we were hungry. We were starving, which is usual for us. And we decided to go somewhere kind of late night dining. And we went to an incredible restaurant. We've never tried it before. And we were just had the mood for Korean barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to a place called in Fontana, U Grill, capital U Grill. And we were just blown away, and we'll talk about it more next week. But all I can say is if you like Korean barbecue, this is probably the best one we've ever had in terms of flavor, in terms of service. The ambiance is incredible. It's over 60 different stations and unbelievable. So anyway, that's what the show's all about, eating and traveling too. So, but anyway, Izzy, how you doing?
Good. Still trying to get over all the food I've eaten last night.
Well, the funny thing is the waiter kept looking at us like, you're ordering more, and you're ordering more, and you're ordering more. And
he almost fainted.
Yeah. Then I said, after all that, we've had about 15 dishes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Then I said, oh, by the way, these are appetizers. We're going to order more. He looked at me and like, oh, just kidding.
His eyes got really big.
Yeah,
it
he was
hilarious.
Like, he was ready to cry, I think. So I hope he's still working there. He may have quit after us. But anyway, we have a really fun show last week. And if you were listening last week, you had the honor of talking to a gentleman, Aaron Pinnell, who is also the food and beverage for the Palace Station Casino Resort in Las Vegas. And it's a location that we stopped in the first time by kind of accident because we couldn't find anywhere to eat. And we were kind of blown away with the food. And then we went back there again, and we were completely, what's the best way to describe it?
I was really, really, surprised and floored for the quality and the selection and the variety and basically the way they prepare the food and the customer service. I mean, it's amazing.
We never saw so many smiles. It's like watching a Hallmark Channel movie. Everyone's smiling and happy. And
these are everybody that works there with Matt. I mean, they don't know who we are, and you see that. And even the people, the guests that are visiting there are happy to be there. Which is really rare because sometimes you see some, really grouchy people in certain resorts or, especially destination areas.
Right.
But yeah, even people over there were friendly, guests were friendly to talk to you, having conversations. We made friends there.
So
it's
keeping
really
with
neat.
that, we decided to have a second show on them.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron's going to be introducing a lot of the chefs that basically work there in charge of the restaurants there and who we had the honor to meet. And we're just...
basically the
It
artists.
felt like family, yeah. I mean,
the artists behind the scenes.
Yeah, and for me, it's like, all these years of being a food critic, over 30 years. I started out when I was 5 years old, by the way. So. But I've just never seen a group of people that dedicated and passionate and just nice people and very, very, very talented. So, but before that, let's do a couple of sponsors. One is if you got food problems, in order to be a good eater, you got to have good teeth. And unfortunately, people like me, we've got teeth problems. So I highly recommend my dentist. His name is Tobias Maynard. He's located in Redland. What's nice about them, they do cosmetic, holistic dentistry, but best of all, painless dentistry. I'm a wuss, okay?
You're kidding, really?
Real painless. I mean,
cool.
Plus he explains to you what he's doing, why he's doing it. He talks to you, not down to you or anything. He's just a great dentist. The whole staff, they're very friendly and just good people.
Yeah, I mean, I literally dread going to see the dentist, so maybe I should give him a try.
Oh, you really should. But anyway, the website is Pearly, Pearly, whitesdds.com, like teeth, pearlywhitesdds.com. Tobias Maynard, excellent service, excellent dentist, and again, pain-free. So for us guys who cry just looking at a needle, this guy's really good. So Another great company that we got as a sponsor. Again, I only get sponsors that I like. If I don't like, unfortunately, the station hates me, but if I don't like them, if they want to be a sponsor, but if I don't like them, I'm not going to have them on. I mean, my credibility is everything, and All Magic Paint and Body is a place I really like. What's nice about, unfortunately, my car last October was rear-ended, and I had to get body work done, and All Magic really was there to help out. And what's nice about that, they have the state-of-the-art equipment. They have all the basic tools to enhance optimum results. They use the latest technology and computerized color matching, specialize in frame repairs with their modern laser measuring system, and best of all, they're OEM certified, which is, I can't say that about all body shops, but this one is. They offer free drop-off and pickup services, like in order to get a rental car. If you go there, they'll get it for you, and they'll come to your store and everything. They're located in Norco, Eastvale, Moreno Valley, and Fontana. And I'm telling you, folks, this is a fantastic company, very friendly, very professional. They call you, they text you, make sure everything's fine. If something's going to be late, they let you know about that. So it's called All Magic Paint and Body. The website is allmagicauto.com. That's allmagicauto.com.
Then, not last but not least, our one of our favorite sponsors, which makes our mouth water every time I talk about their food, is Ray's Shanghai Bistro, which is located in Redlands, DMV on Lagonia. They have a huge array of traditional and original Chinese dishes available in the Inland Empire. I think it's one of the best restaurants around this neck of the woods.
They're very consistent, and that's a killer of restaurants. This one, no matter when you go in, they're very friendly, and the food's very fresh. The owner is the head chef there, and he's always there. And I'm telling you, they're just really great food.
Well, your food is made to order, so you're not actually, thing hasn't sitting there in a pan just kind of heating up. So everything is made to order, and the food is so amazing. Some of my favorite dishes are the actually pork soup dumplings. Oh my gosh, it bursts in your mouth. It's so good. They do house-made pot stickers, crispy pork spare ribs with garlic, and the unique spicy lamb with bamboo, and the sweet, tangy, deep fried orange peel beef, crunchy, sweet, and tangy. Oh my gosh, so good. And the savory basil spicy shrimp, plus lots of vegetarian dishes, which includes one of Allan's favorite, which
hot
is
and sour soup. It's got a little kick to it, and it's the best one I've ever had.
Whether you dine in or pick up the food, or have them cater your next party or special occasion, you will see why Ray's, RUI_S, spell Ray's Shanghai Bistro, is truly the best Chinese restaurant in the Inland Empire. Their website is raysshanghaibistro.net. Is spelled RUISSHANGHAI, Bistro, BISTRO.net. It's raysshanghaibistro.net.
Oh, I'm hungry, so
I know. I always salivate whenever I talk about their food. It's so bad.
And talking to Aaron and all his friends too, it's going to be even worse. So for the next hour, we got to control ourselves. No more drooling, okay?
Okay, I'll try not to. I'll try to wipe it off my side of my mouth right now.
Oh yeah, right. So again, with us is Aaron Pennell. He's the food and beverage director of Palace Station. And Aaron, welcome again to Let's Dine Out Show.
Hi, great to be back with you all. We're really excited to talk about what we do once again this week. Thank you for featuring us. I have all the chefs, several chefs, and a couple of my managers and for the property, and we're going to be excited to talk about Palace Station today.
Right. Well, that's what it's all about. And I put on the website that we're going to have you, and I got a lot of people saying they've been there and they agree with us. A couple of people they have good food there? Question mark.
They had no idea.
They had no idea. Most of them didn't know that. We were there, 30 years ago, 25 years ago.
It's a hidden gem. We shouldn't be telling other people about it,
I've had one person actually tell me that. So, well, why don't you go ahead and introduce the chefs in the order that you want to, and we'll talk about them.
You got it. Like anything, we're super happy to be on the show again today, and feature all the hard work and dedication from all the chefs that are going to be on today. There's a lot of focus and details to what we do and how we make guests happy. So first, we're going to introduce our executive chef for the property, Patrick Higgins. Patrick Higgins is quite a fun background. He's been in culinary for quite a few years. So, Patrick, tell us a little bit about your history and kind of what makes you the chef you are today.
Hey, Chef.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
How you doing?
Good. It's good to talk to you guys again. We miss you.
I think you should change your name to Mr. Smiley.
Mr. Smiley, yeah.
Yeah, every time we see you, you're talking to customers, smiling, and
they're asking for you by name.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Amazing.
So, let's talk.
We're building some really good relationships with our guests here, yeah?
That's good. So,
so a little bit about me. I'm originally from the Jersey Shore, New Jersey, and fell in love with cooking at a very young age. My mom and I used to watch the celebrity chefs of the time, Julia Child, a big influence in me, Graham Kerr, Dine Shore, right? And I just knew right there and then that that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I was going to pursue. It's the only thing I've ever done, the only jobs I've ever had, yeah? So anyway, I did that. I pursued it in high school, vocational school education, got my first job at 16 on the beach in a seafood restaurant, did that for several years, and then pursued culinary school. There was a new culinary school opening outside Atlantic City. At that time, the Atlantic City market was just taking off. It was a 2-year program, and when I graduated, I had my first really opportunity at the Golden Nugget with Steve Wynn in Atlantic City.
Oh, wow.
Started as a cook, worked my way up, did that for 7 years, left as the banquet chef, and then another opportunity came with Mr. Trump, and I spent 7 years with Mr. Trump, traveling his homes, helping him open casinos, specializing in banquets. And then from there was a new convention center opening, so I jumped on board with that, and that was super exciting for me, traveling the country, just doing mass events, stadiums, arenas, dinners.
Wow.
Our dinners could be from 5,000 to 10,000 people, shows for 100,000 to 200. And there, another opportunity arose, Las Vegas, Paris, Las Vegas. I was asked to, join up. I was on the opening team of Paris, Las Vegas, overseeing really the production outlets, buffet and cafe and banquets. From there, I got promoted to Bally's Las Vegas, and I was the executive chef at Bally's Las Vegas. From Bally's, I moved across the street and was executive chef at Flamingo Las Vegas. Right? And then I joined Stations for the first time as corporate chef. I spent 4 years here in my first tour. Family matters took me out to Illinois, and I spent 7 years in Illinois with Boyd Gaming as executive chef there. Had the opportunity, got the call to come back. I couldn't wait to get back here with Stations family, and now I've been back for 5 years.
So in other words, you have no experience.
Very, very limited, I would
And he's
say,
only
huh?
20.
Yeah, you know, 20. Oh my goodness, that's incredible, and I can see why you're smiling because your passion shows. I mean, just talking to you, but just seeing you in action. And we did a little interview with you, even on tape, and people loved it. And it just shows the passion you have. And let's talk a little bit about building the whole culture and the whole menu inspirations. You were nice enough to show us the menu, the menu preparations, the recipe files that you had. And oh my goodness, I mean, it was so intensive. And let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was during the time when we were just really coming out of COVID, right? Like everything was shut down and people were not spending money, right? And at that time, senior leadership said to us, hey, we're going to use this time to make ourselves great. We're going to reinvent ourselves, yeah?
Wow.
So we went to work on it. We started a test kitchen. We had all the chefs from all the properties involved in developing the menu and ideas, but the message was, let's be great. Go out, find your competition, see your competition. Who are they now? Things have changed since we first opened up in 1976, right? So we did that, right? And again, the message just being, be great. Let's just be the best, right? So we did. We set out to do that. We turned ourselves back into a totally scratch kitchen operation. And we do everything. We fabricate all our own vegetables in-house. We make our own dressings, right? We crack our own eggs. We do all those steps,
No shortcuts. No shortcuts.
as our base foundation, right? To get to where we want to be.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, the quality of the food shows the presentations, everything. The menu
Flavor.
doesn't describe how
Yeah.
great your food is, and I know you're going to be working on that a little bit, but no, very, very. I mean, we were just shocked in how great it was. And again, everyone when they go to Vegas, they spend so much time on the Strip because that's all you hear about is usually the strip restaurants and the hotels, and they're fine for what they are. But with the Palace Station, all the restaurants there, it's so much how can I say this? Understated, elegance, cheaper in terms of price wise, the same quality but a lot less.
I think it's better quality. What are you talking about?
Well,
I mean, I think the quality is way better.
Yeah.
The flavor profile, there's a little bit for everybody. I think the menu, if you read the menu, you think, oh, it's just, whatever. But actually, whatever comes out actually surprise you even more, which is, I think, it's a pleasant surprise.
Oh, definitely.
Because sometimes you read these menus, are so complex, and you're expecting this thing in your head, and you come out, and you're like, oh, what a disappointment. But it's the other way around. Everything that came out to the table has been so impressive. So.
Well, we had a lot of fun in those conversations, yeah. But when it comes to what you're referring to, every item on our menu, when we were in the test kitchen, we were in the test kitchen for months and months. And be it our egg, we tested like 12 or 13 eggs. I honestly didn't know that many varieties existed, And the same with our burger, and the same with our prime rib, and the same with our deli meat.
Wow.
We were just driven to find the very best that we could. And every item on the menu was tested and developed, right? And every item on the menu was developed to have that wow factor, and we talked with that with you, yeah, describing that, to have that wow, to take those classic dishes that our guests just love to a higher level, to a modern level.
Well, I'll tell you, your inspiration has filtered through all the other chefs there, and
definitely.
I have to applaud you for that. I mean, your whole team is amazing, and I've just never seen it in the 30 years I've been a food critic and into the kitchens of everywhere. And I just, that was just a really nice thing to see. So, well, Chef, really, really good. Is there anything else you want to talk about in terms of the rest of the preparations or anything else that, with the restaurants?
We're like anything. I think we're constantly looking to evolve, and we're always testing our food to see what we can do better. I think that's the fun part about what we do here at Palace Station is while we are happy with a lot of our options and our presentations, there's always room for improvement. Like we talked about, Thomas Keller's a huge impact part of my background, and one of the things that he always said is, the pursuit of perfection is unattainable, but we can always strive for it. And I think we definitely do that with our culinary team here on property, and that makes for an experience with our guests that really create that unique experience for each and every one of them based on their expectation.
Right. No, I definitely agree with that. So, well, Izzy and I are available for tasting. So if you ever need any tasters, objective tasters.
We expect you out here at least in the spring so we can go over some new stuff and have some fun again.
We'll be there before then.
You guys come back.
Yeah, well, for sure in March we'll be there for the International Pizza Expo. I'll be a judge again.
And we're bringing an entourage, I think.
Yeah, got some people coming
All
over,
right.
so it'll be fun.
We'll have a little party out here in Vegas.
Oh, sounds good. Now, another restaurant that really impressed us was a Charcoal Room. Now, when we first saw the menu, it was, it's a steakhouse, upscale steakhouse.
And Alan's always not impressed with steakhouses.
It's usually the same.
It's
the same stuff all the time. And, how much cream corn can you have? It's the same stuff over and over. Then not only did we experience it, but then we talked to the chef there, Chef Horsch, and we were like, wow. And that's why that's one of the reasons I wanted to have him on the radio as well as all the other chefs, because the experience behind all the food that people eat there, I mean, it shows it. So, Aaron, why don't you introduce Peter for us, Chef Peter?
Absolutely. Chef Peter's super talented. I love working with him every day. We have a lot of the similar backgrounds, and we're constantly working to improve what we do, and his experience is extensive. So, Peter, tell us a little bit about your background.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
How you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Good.
I'm just trying to think about where to start. I guess I'll just start in the beginning. When I first got out of school, I had I was very lucky to achieve what I achieved and got to work with some of the best. I was first before I got out of when I got out of school, I was doing prep for Le Cirque in Manhattan.
Wow.
At the time, Daniel Ballou was the chef there. This was before Daniel had his own places.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
After that, I went over to Sign of the Dove. Was there for a couple of years. Amazing experience. If you know, Manhattan is just a food crusher. It's just unbelievable.
I agree.
After that, went over to Chicago, worked for Charlie Trotter.
Oh, wow.
Went out to California, worked with Wolfgang Puck for 8 years. Shot up to San Francisco, worked for a gentleman over at La Folie. Worked for Thomas Keller over at the Laundry. Traveled over to Europe, worked for Alain Ducasse, Marco Pierre White. When I was working for Marco at that time, there was a lot of people involved with it. So the amount of faces and experience that I got from that was pretty fantastic. Then eventually made it back to the States. Went back to California to Thomas Keller. That was kind of like my opening to go to here, to Las Vegas. I had the chance to open up Bouchon over at the Venetian.
Wow.
Yum.
And then went from there, and of course Alain Ducasse opened up Mix. I left Thomas Keller and went to Mix, and eventually found my way over to Station.
So as you can hear, Chef Peter hasn't really worked very many places either.
He worked.
I'm not very fortunate to have all these chefs that have tremendous insight and just training throughout years through some of the best culinarians in the world. So to be at Palace and to have these resources really allows us to do some special things.
Right. Now, in terms of the charcoal room, why don't you talk a little bit about your approach to the menu? Because you've got some items on there that you don't see at other restaurants, and that's what really impressed us.
Yes, the menu here is I would call it a classic steakhouse with a twist. There's all of the basics, but even the basics, we just take it to the next level. Everything. Our meat program here is beautiful. I mean, we just use superior stuff. All of our greens, the herbs, the spices that we use, oil to saute with, everything is just off the chain. It's beautiful.
And Izzy, aren't you a big fan of the corn?
Oh my gosh!
I just wrote it down here.
Elote was like blow you out of the water. It's like you go to a steakhouse, you don't expect that, but talk about, I was eating it like in the middle of the night. This is how good it was because I could not stop eating it. I had to get more to eat in the middle of the room. When it's cold, I didn't even heat it up. It was that good.
Tell the whole story. In the middle of the night, I was starving, and I was just yanking to eat some more of that. So we brought some of the food up to our room. So here I am eating the corn cold. And she saw me. She goes, Alan, what are you doing? And I told her, oh, good, I want some too. So here he is, 3 o'clock in the morning, eating your corn there at the elote. It had cheese in it. It was kind of a roasted
tangy,
corn.
smoky.
Yeah.
Oh, it's phenomenal, and it really complements well with I think the meat, and you can taste the quality of the meat. I mean, like a lot of time you go to restaurants, you have a good piece of steak, but they're okay, like it doesn't have that, I don't know, like there's a meaty flavor, there's this distinct flavor when it's a high-end or better quality piece of meat. It just has that taste. It tastes so much better.
Not all steaks are created equal, that's for sure.
They're definitely not, yeah, definitely.
No, so your passion shows in every dish there. And your service there is, it's kind of understated. It's not pretentious at all.
Not
it's
at
a
all.
beautiful dining room, and everyone's very professional, but they don't just throw it in your face. I mean, you feel like family there.
Well, you don't feel like you're walking into a steakhouse with a highbrow. You got to be all dressed up. If you want to get dressed up, great. But if you want to go in with a pair of jeans and, whatever, just be casual and be comfortable, you can still have an exceptional meal. I mean, without feeling uncomfortable, I think.
But dressing up does add to the experience, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Izzy dressed up.
It's a beautiful space. I think it's very classic yet has a modern twist to it. So it's, especially the menu and, such a talented chef and brings so much neat. I mean, items. I mean, the appetizers are wow. I mean, everything was a wow to you, right, Allan?
Oh, definitely. No. Chef, I have one question for you, but this is kind of a hard question to answer. But how come you don't have a big ego? How come your head isn't big, swollen up with ego? Because you're very low key in a sense.
I know.
But the passion just reeks out of you. And the same thing with Chef Higgins too. But I mean, with your experience, but you're so down to earth, both you guys, and that's I think the theme of all of the chefs there. But you really impressed us. It's like, wow. I just have to applaud that because we've seen a lot of chefs who are very good too, but they let you know how good they are. They're like legends in their own mind, and you're not. You're really you care what people think. You care about each dish. You take it. Both you guys take it. All of you guys actually take it very seriously. If there's something wrong with something, you go out there to fix it. And I think that's a great virtue that unfortunately I don't see all chefs doing that, being that way.
I agree. So, anyways, well, there's so many chefs we need to talk to. So maybe, Aaron, you want to introduce us to the next one?
Yeah, 100%. We're going to go and move on to our assistant executive chef for the property, Josh Miller. He joined us about right before you started, and I don't know that you got to meet him while you're here, but he's a very impactful part of our team. And we're going to talk a little bit about our oyster bar, as our oyster bar chef's a little under the weather and couldn't make it on the radio today. But
hey, Josh.
Welcome, Chef Miller. Tell us a little bit about yourself,
doing, Chef?
And
Hi,
let's
Chef.
talk about oyster bar.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Oh, real good.
Great.
Getting them more hungry every time. Talk to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that thing's a little gym for sure. I'll give you a little bit about me. I've been in the industry 23 years now. Even Higgins and Peter, they actually got some verse travel on me, even on my resume. So a big part of the reason I'm at this property and I left the other Lux properties to come here was because of Aaron and Higgins themselves. So they were a big part of the reason why I decided to come join this team instead of staying at like the Red Rocks and the GBRs for the company. So I'm very happy to be here, and it's nice to be wanted. I've been on and off of the company about 8 years now, but I would say like this property is probably the best when it comes to a sense of confidence and how much people love being here, since it's the number one property as far as the first one ever made from Frank Sr. when he was with us. So there's a big love for the family, and there's a lot of pride that these team members take in everything they do day in and day out compared to the other properties that I've been to. And that's what makes it very special here. And I'll tell you like about the oyster bar.
Yeah.
We have oyster bars across the company in other various locations, but for some reason, somehow, we cannot recreate what they have here at Palace as far as the need and the want for it. The line that exists there, going across the wall all the way down from charcoal room, the 3-4 hour wait. We have the oyster bar at other properties, but we just can't seem to get it to the same place. As far as the quality and the passion and being able to be in that bar seating with no other restaurant seats like outside of the bar, and you get to like hear, smell, talk to the chefs behind the bar and everything they're doing. You get to have an interaction with them. You're not 10, 20 feet away from the kitchen. You're right there, and they get to tell you everything that's going on in their day, and they get to give you a part of the experience, like you're back in there in the kitchen like a chef's table.
Yeah,
and that's like the biggest thing that I've seen about that location.
And what's nice, it's open 24/7.
All the just classic dishes just seem to really just be like something that we can't recreate. Same recipes at other places, but it's really the staff and the passion here, like you said, Steph Higgins and everyone that we have here, and Peter and Aaron. It just shows through it. You could have the same recipe somewhere else, but it just doesn't come across the same.
Right. Plus, it's open 24/7. So.
And the lines are there 24/7, people. So
Yes, they are.
you cannot we can vow for it. We've seen it. 2 a.m. in the morning. There
Twice
were like
we attempted to go there, and it's like you couldn't.
Like a 2-hour wait at 2 a.m. I'm like, well, I'm gonna eat
Even
at
5
4
o'clock. We
a.m.
went 5:30 in the morning one time, and it was still like an hour and a half, 2 hour wait.
I know.
So
it's amazing. So yeah, so nice to meet you, Chef Miller.
Josh.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm glad to be part of the team, and next time I can't wait to meet you guys.
I
Yes,
can't wait to see you
definitely.
too. We'll see you soon. I promise.
So, Chef, tell us about a couple of the most popular items on the menu, and what guests wait those 3-4 hours for.
I would say, I mean, it's small things plus like the pan roast is a classic. I mean, that's just like the neighborhood dish. I feel like you cannot go wrong with that. So it's rich, the flavor, the ingredients, the gumbo, even the oysters being shucked right there in front of you. You can see them. They pull them out whole, chuck them right in front of you, go right on the ice, and come straight to you. Every single dish cooked right in the steam kettles. There's nothing like pre-ready to go. You watch every single piece of your food come together. There's no hiding behind it. There's nothing. So, but I would say like, yeah, the pan roast, the gumbo, the oysters being shucked fresh, the jambalaya, the pony, the linguine and shrimp I love. I mean, which one of your favorite dishes, Aaron?
Cioppino.
You know, I'm a bouillabaisse. I love the bouillabaisse at an 8 level, which is super spicy. And I think the cooks are always scared to make it at an 8 because they think I can't handle it, but I can handle it, and I love it.
Oh, and the smell. I mean, if you walk in a casino, it's the smell permeates through the entire property. I would say whole casino floor. You can smell it. It makes you salivate just walking into your property. And it's like, okay, I can see where the hype is all about because it just the smell itself entices you to go stand in that line.
What was your favorite whenever you guys had it? What did you guys have? I don't quite recall.
We had the bouillabaisse. We had the clam chowder. It was amazing. We had the gumbo. Wow.
I can't remember all of them, but
we did. I mean, I think we tasted all of them.
I remember we started off a fairly early morning. I would say by Vegas standards, I think it was 11 or 12.
Yeah.
But we sat down with like 3 tables pushed together and just covered it with food and tried it all.
Oh, it was
and I got to tell you, it was the best way to start off my day at work that I can remember in a long time.
I can imagine.
Yeah, mine too. I was like, wow, this is a feast for like first thing we eat that morning.
It's a real interactive. That's probably the best thing about it. I mean, the food is fantastic, but the interactiveness, to see it right in front of you and to experience it. And again, they're small little kettles that are steaming kettle cooked. So it's right in front of you. And the gentleman who started it, he has a restaurant here in Chino. I met him a long time ago. And I'm really glad they're there. It's really, really fun. If you've never been to, again, Palace Station, the Oyster Bar, it's worth the wait. There's slot machines all around. So
take turn in the line, and then, while you play, you can have, somebody stay in line, and then, you'll make your way there in no time.
And one thing I noticed about the customers there, they savor every moment. They're not there to in and out. I mean, after waiting an hour or 2 hours, they're there. They take their time, but they really savor the food. It's not rushed in, rushed out. There's no.
It's not fast food. That's for sure.
No,
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Plus, the prices are excellent. For what you get, my goodness, it's well worth it.
I think you hit on it perfectly. The steam kettles just make it different. I've had it done in pans. I've had it made several different methods, but those steam kettles really are special and really infuse all that flavor into each dish and create such a dynamic flavor. And I think that's why our guests have been coming here for so long, and they just really enjoy it.
Right. No, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and you don't, like I said, even if you didn't know about it, you walk in the casino floor, you go, oh my gosh, what's that smell? It's so good. And you literally let like a cartoon, you like that smell follow. You follow that smell and you're like, oh my gosh.
It's kind of like walking by and you smell hickory smoke from a barbecue, a rib place. And you're like, oh my God. And it just gets your senses going. And you may not be in a mood when you get there to get it, to have seafood, but once you smell it, it's like, we got you.
Yeah.
And I think it's why it's so popular. I mean, that's one of the big money makers for you guys. That's probably the most popular restaurant you have, I think you were told me.
It is definitely the most popular restaurant. I would think it's probably the most popular restaurant we have in all of our portfolio. It's definitely that iconic space that when you come and stay at Palace or you just come to Vegas, it's that spot that people hit either late night or even early in the mornings. There's mornings I'm here at 6 in the morning and there's a line at that point in time, which you would think that would be a good time to sneak in and experience it, but everybody's thinking that too. So it's a pretty iconic place. It definitely is a great experience for our guests. And anytime the line's short, I do sneak into line. I have to wait in line just like everybody else. And I will tell you, I'm happy to do it because it's worth the wait.
How many seats are there? Like 25 or so?
No, we're 18 seats.
18, wow.
They're precious.
So, yeah, it's definitely a destination, and as Chef Miller was saying, we've attempted to recreate it at other properties, and it just not that they're not good; they are excellent as well. We've tasted them all. The quality's there. It's just something about the location of it at Palace Station and the way that the fragrance just resonates throughout the casino area. It just draws people in, and it's pretty amazing.
Now, if we brought our own folding chairs, can we get in sooner? Oh, come on.
You need a high top chair. How do you get a folding high top chair?
Trust me, we'll figure it out.
Good, drag
Right?
it in.
We'll drag it in there, yeah. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Well, Chef, hopefully we'll meet you soon and just continue success. And again, welcome to Palace Station.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
our
nice
pleasure.
talking to you. And Aaron, do you want to introduce us?
Real quick.
Oh, wait.
You're listening to the Let's Sign Out show right here on AM 1050 and 106.5 FM, the stations that leave no listener behind. And with us is Aaron Pinnell, who is the food and beverage director of Palace Station in Las Vegas. And it's a resort and casino, nice casino, by the way. And we're talking to his very talented and just passionate chefs. That's all I can say. They're all just, I've never seen so much wealth of knowledge, wealth of passion, and
excitement.
no egos. I mean, none
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever in a group of chefs. And usually when you get a group of chefs together, they're fighting and mine's better. And not here. I just don't get it. So
Yeah, and they're all excited about what they're doing, you know, and you don't see
care.
that because you see a lot of chefs going like, okay, it's
Just
a job, you
yeah.
know, but you don't feel that. I mean, I think it's a culture, and you know, I think probably thanks to Aaron on the senior management team that has that culture.
Well,
it passes down to
I
everybody.
think the owners too. The owners really want quality, and I think just like Aaron said at the beginning, I think it was Aaron or Chef Patrick, that with COVID they said let's make it better. Let's just go out, see who's out there. It's always good to know who your enemy is, who you're competing against, and make it better than them. And I think I give him a lot of quality, a lot of praise for that. So you got to have a good owner behind you to do this, and he's allowing that to happen. And I think it's great. So, okay, enough talking.
Yeah,
about
our
Allan.
culture definitely comes from the top. Our corporate team and ownership is amazing. They are so supportive. They just want the best for our guests.
Right.
And when it boils down to it, the number one question from them is, what do the guests want, and how do we make it the best for them? And that's why we're a local spot here in the city. And you always want to be the spot that the locals come, right? You want to be that unique space that locals talk about, and I think that we work really hard to drive that experience. And we're not only for the locals, but we are a very locally driven company because they do appreciate and understand that we're using the quality ingredients and the value of what we serve our food at our cafe, our steakhouse, our oyster bar, and our partner outlets as well.
Right. And again, you mentioned before that over 60% of your people who dine there are locals. And in any city, as a food critic or anybody, when you go to a city, that's first thing you want to know, where do the locals eat? Because those
I
are usually the best
agree.
finds.
Yes.
So
those are the hidden gems where
and
you want to be. Yeah.
Exactly. So, okay, who else are we going to talk to next? Who's next?
All right, next we're going to go to our brass fork chef. I know Patrick talked a little bit about kind of how we got to the brass fork from our Lux Cafe former name. But Chef Carlos is here joining us. He's been with us for a couple years now. He's jumped around a couple different properties at Red Rock, Green Valley Ranch, and now here at Palace. You were at Palms as well, Chef, right? Yep. So Chef's been all over our company. He's exceptional at what he does, and we're excited to have him and run our cafe for us. So, Chef, tell us a little bit about kind of the day-to-day and how you and your team all work together to create this amazing menu at the cafe with all these fresh ingredients and kind of your inspiration to drive successes.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
Good.
How you
Carlos, how you doing?
doing?
Good. So we basically try to put our hands on the freshest product that's out there, to deliver the best of the best to our guests. It's basically different than a regular cafe. It's a lot better, I'll say. It's upscale, obviously. Just for instance, just take a look at our chilaquiles, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The
Yum.
old-fashioned chilaquiles, it's got to be toast chips. But our chilaquiles is different. It's actually tostadas layered with tostadas with avocado. And it's a lot better than what it used to be.
It's like
definitely.
a piece of artwork. It's
It's
beautiful,
got
but yet
height and
tastes.
presentation.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so
And, you know,
yummy.
We're a cafe and we serve avocado toast because everybody in California and Nevada love avocado toast. So we have to meet our guests' needs.
Now, the
But
other
it's not the run-of-the-mill avocado toast. I've had avocado toast, and it's disappointing, bland and no taste. Yours is phenomenal. There's all different textures. I mean, there's like egg crumbled on top. Oh my gosh, I was literally blown away with the microgreens. I just was like totally impressed.
Plus, the Brass Fork is open 24 hours, 7 days a week. So you don't have to go. You don't have to be staying at the casino. You could go there just to have breakfast, or just have lunch, or just have dinner, which is really nice. And I think the first time we had to wait maybe a half hour or so, but very, very nice,
totally
very
worth the wait.
cordial. And
Oh, yeah.
it's a large restaurant, so it seats a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah,
But,
and the food, like I said, I mean, you think it's no cafe.
It's not
food.
Denny's.
It is not Denny's and no cafe food. I would say it's really, if you go anywhere else, it's more like a, gourmet, like a high-end.
Classic diner.
The fare is classic diner, but the taste of the food, it's more like a high-end kitchen. You would taste at some swanky little spot, but you're not paying that price, and you don't have to get all dressed up for it.
But they also have the standard. So if you just want
Yep.
eggs, bacon, and then pancakes, you got that too. So better than the Grand Slam, I can tell you that. But like you said, like
Carlos, what's your favorite thing on the menu?
My favorite thing, I'll say, is everything. Fried rice. Yeah, it's hard to choose one, but that's one of them.
do you,
I
you do
think
the fried
everything's
rice,
really
or
good.
don't you do the fried rice with the egg? Is that
Yep.
is that
Bacon and egg
bacon,
fried rice. Yeah.
that's the one that, if anything, I would drive there honestly just for that. Izzy talks about that every time we talk to people. That's her. That really was something. I mean, fried rice with meats and vegetables, and then it's got an egg on top and a little bacon and everything. Oh my goodness! I mean, who thought about that? And when you think about it, you're like, ooh.
It's
but,
creamy, it's tasty, it's smoky. Oh my gosh, it's like to die for. And then also the chips, fish and chips. It was like out of this world. I mean, like we had it literally like we were talking, busy talking, had it sitting there for like 30 minutes, 30 minutes, and we're eating this. It was still crispy, not soggy.
Not greasy.
Hate soggy. Even the French fries were crispy. I mean,
I
it
like
is
the pea fritters.
so good.
And
yeah.
they had the mushy peas.
Oh yeah.
Mushy pea
Yum.
fritter.
No, those are so
Again,
good.
I think you mentioned it before, Aaron. There's a twist to everything, and that's one thing about the restaurant. There's twists to everything, and which is really nice. It's nice. It's adventurous because if you can eat there all the time, and you never feel like it's the same boring stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a twist to comfort food.
Yep.
These are all comfort food that we grew up on. But, you're craving comfort food. This is the place to go. But then you get the surprise twist. It's not like too crazy, but just enough to where you go, wow. It just wows you, floors you, blows you away literally as you're eating it. So
I promise when we go there next, we're going to do a little video with Izzy eating.
having it.
You'll see a food orgasm on live food orgasm.
I was like, the whole time I was there.
When she likes something, it's like, wow, it's an adventure. So
Yeah. But
Yeah, and I think Izzy was, like I said last week, she was one of our best stewards. I think all of our outlets were increased levels of business just due to all the marketing you did for us while you're on property with all your photos and whatnot.
We showed pictures of everything and told them you got to try it. And these people are like, God, we shouldn't have gone here. Let's go there.
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't have to leave your property because your food's so good. Why would you leave the property when everything's right there? Literally a rock throw from everywhere.
Poolside dining.
Yeah, I mean,
everything.
why would you leave? And this is like a resort spot with all the food around you, and it's amazing food. Why would you leave? So, and you get your bang for your buck. I mean, it's like wow. I mean, totally blown away.
Yep.
Well, I think we're going to move on to one of our other outlets, to our Boathouse Asian Eatery. I have our general manager, Esther Kim, here. And I think we started off your visit there for dinner on your very first night with us.
Yeah, and what a woman what a person of all of your staff. They're all friendly, don't get me wrong, but Esther, you are just a charming young woman. You're fantastic, and
warm.
You
so
made us feel at home.
sweet. Yes.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
How
we
you
miss
doing?
you.
I miss you guys.
We miss you already too. So let's talk about the boathouse, because that was a very neat experience too. When I first heard it, I'll be honest, sushi and everything looked the same on the menu. We're like, no, okay, well, let's be honest, let's be open and try it. And
you were so kind to select a nice variety. Really, it was a huge spread of different types of food for us. And boy, we were totally surprised, totally blown away. There was like, walk in and we're like, okay, it's going to run a meal place. And it was not at all. The decor is beautiful.
Beautiful restaurant.
The food's phenomenal. We talked to so many people and show them your food. You want to describe some of the stuff you picked for us?
So I know a lot of our guests come into Boathouse, and just like you mentioned, they get lost. It is an Asian restaurant. How special can an Asian restaurant be, right? But Boathouse is such a wonderful place because it has so much talent and so much passion and so much culinary background that come together in one place. And it's basically our team, the team that makes Boathouse. We have employees that's been there for 15 years plus.
Wow.
From the original Boathouse in San Francisco and Grayton. So it's their experience of 20 years in the wok, 20 years in sushi, 20 years in how to perfect a wonton noodle soup. So, when I get a lot of guests that come in for the first time, we like to handpick some selections just because everything that we do in Boathouse is made in the house. From all the sauces, from the special unagi sauce in your rolls, spicy mayo, we call it the monkey sauce. But all the sauces that go on your roll, we make in-house. The only thing that we don't make is the soy sauce. So, it's just a magical room. So, it's like, again, I think the room really shines because of the experience that our culinary team brings to the room.
Right.
Yeah. And the decor is absolutely beautiful.
Right. Plus, you have a lot of great mixed drinks and everything. And,
I know.
Just the whole experience we were just like, oh my goodness.
And everything you think of, like you can have like a little bit of dim sum, a little bit of, little tapas. You have the rolls if you want, So it depends it's like an Asian.
What direction you want to go, eating through Asia.
Yeah, eating through Asia, one spot. So it's amazing.
Their menu's so vast. There's so many options. I think it's great to have somebody to
guide you,
showcase the menu there at Boathouse that Esther does and her team can do, because there are so many good dishes on the menu. And all you got to do is ask, and they'll create. And then the culinary team's so talented as well. If there's something that you remember that you want to try, they'll take you down that path and make you something special. It's not.
Wow.
They'll do anything for you to make our guests happy. It's pretty amazing outlet.
Which is kind of the theme of all your restaurants. I'm sure if we ask for something with or without something, you'll do it. So,
absolutely.
Honest to goodness, I once asked for an iced coffee, ice with coffee. And I was told, well, I'm not sure if we can do it. Let me ask the manager. I can't tell you how many stories like that I hear.
In other properties, other places.
Yeah, not yours.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah.
But Esther, you started out. You were the first one we experienced in terms of the restaurant, and that really set the pace of what an experience we're going to have. And it just followed through all the way, just across the board to everybody. And what's some of your experiences, real quick, in terms of where you've worked?
Well, I'm originally from California, Los Angeles. I grew up with my parents doing quick service, a franchise. Not sure if I should publicize it here. But I moved in, doing food and beverage practically all my life. And then so I decided to do culinary school, so I went to OPAS, Le Cordon Bleu. And then from there, I ventured out to Vegas. So I've been in Vegas for about 14 years now, opened up Encore, been from casual dining to fine dining, working with celebrity chefs like Hubert Keller, and then also working with Four Seasons.
Wow.
So it's just, I love Vegas. Vegas is so Esther. So, yeah, it's fun.
Good way to hear it. Well, good. It was a pleasure meeting you, and can't wait to see you again.
Yeah, we cannot wait. Literally, I'm just looking at the pictures of all the food we ate at your restaurant, and it brings back great memories and makes me want to come back sooner than later, Alan.
We were just talking about it.
And when you come back, we're going to have something new at Boathouse as well. Starting next weekend, we're launching Ban, which is Boathouse Asian Noodles. And we're going to do a late-night ramen concept that launches, like I said, next Friday, that will run until 3 a.m. So if you don't want to stand in line for the Oyster Bar for a couple hours, you can venture over to Boathouse and get some amazing ramen that I've been tasting it for a couple months as her culinary team has really worked to perfect it, and it's quite an exceptional experience. Just to get that warm broth with some outstanding noodles, and it just warms your soul, especially during these cold days.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine so.
I agree.
We'll be there in about 2-3 weeks, I guarantee. Promise you.
Perfect.
So, okay, anybody else we're going to talk to? Any other
Yeah, I do. I have my beverage manager.
Leo.
We talked about last week. We talked a little bit about the service here, and we have some amazing slot play games. We have some really good table games as well on the floor. So we have Leo Alacon here, and he's our beverage manager for the property. And we run a really good beverage program, as I think you guys highlighted last time. So
definitely.
Welcome, Leo.
Hey, Leo, how you doing?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good. I feel like I know you because I play the slots a lot there, and I can't believe the service we had. I'm not a big drinker, to be honest, but I've never had so much water and diet soda there in my life. I mean, the service, they're friendly, the servers, everything's right on. If you're asking where something is, instead of just saying it's over there, behind there, they take you there. I mean, everything was just great. So I really want to applaud your efforts, too, and I just really, really neat. And that must be a challenge for you. I mean, because you get a lot of different guests, especially if they're losing money. They're not so nice. But even then, I see how you react to them, and that says a lot about you as a leader.
Well, honestly, it has nothing to do with me. I have amazing team members. They've been here since the 70s and 80s.
Wow.
And longer than that. Like, we have a great team. And I'm just here to support them. They do an amazing job. And when coming to this property, it's such a nice property. It's a warm, it's just a different feel than you get anywhere else.
Right.
And the way I feel, I don't know if you guys are a Cheers fan or not, but when you walk in, feel like Norm, like, hey, how's everything going? It's nice. You feel welcome. You feel like family. And that's what is so different compared to so many other places.
Plus, it's spotless.
I couldn't do it without these guys. They're amazing.
Yeah, plus it's spotless. I mean, everywhere you sit, it's, the little tables next to it's clean. The floors are spotless. Everything is just very sanitized. And, again, that all adds to the impressiveness of the Palace Station and everybody who works there.
It's such a big team effort. Everybody collaborates and comes together when it comes from your sanitation to your internal maintenance to the culinary team, front of house, back of the house, table games, slots. Everybody's involved and they care, and so it just makes it so much easier when you have everybody on the same team.
On the same page, yeah. Well, congratulations on just for all your team, for everybody who works there, and not just the wonderful people we talked to today, but just all your staff. They really. I wish I had all their names. Everyone deserves raises. Let's put it that way. I was really impressed with it. So we have about a minute and a half left. Anything else, Aaron, you'd like to talk about?
No, I just, thank you for having us on and showcasing what we do. We're very proud of it. I'm grateful for meeting the two of you and building our relationship. And I look forward to getting you out here. And I hope we have some listeners that can come and visit and introduce themselves and become part of our Palace Station family as well.
Again, it's Palace Station right off the 215?
At the 15.
15 freeway, yeah. I mean, you can't meet. It's been around for, 40, 50 years, something like that?
It's easily
Since
accessible.
1976.
And it's beautiful. It's refurbished and everything, and it's basically going to be our go-to hotel. Why fight the Strip when you have
Radio every day. Tune into KCAA Loma Linda.